Hey everybody, welcome back to the Spinner Rack. This is Marge here. I'm here with my boy PDP. Say what's up, baby.
What's going on?
So Selector has something for us right now. Nosferatu. It's a new movie that came out.
Nosferatu.
Nosferatu that just came out. Of course, it's based on the original from 1922. You may have seen it before. It's supposed to be a Dracula-like movie or a monster Dracula. You know, some people like their Dracula more like, like a lord, very well, smart, looking very handsome for chicks. But this may be the original one, which looks like a monster. Let's take a look and see if this is A, is it scary? And B, is this a Dracula movie we wanted to watch? Selector, please drop it.
Okay. I don't think you were there when we did the first trailer. So what do you think?
Hey, it looks
What?
pretty good. I mean, it's very stylistic. I'm afraid that this is definitely going to be an art house film, so we don't know where it's going to go. And these art house guys, they sometimes go after little
You mean
crazy
it
stuff.
doesn't have a it has a limited release. It's
It's
not an
limited,
art
like,
house film, it's a limited release.
focus features like the art house brand for.
You can say, but it's basically trying, has a limited budget, like obviously that sort of thing. It's like, they, it's obviously, I'm not sure what it seemed like it would be, even though look at all of the stuff they got for it. It looks, you know, pretty well done, but at the same time, usually that means that, they had some limits in their budget, but we've not seen all the effects. The only real big effect we
All I
see.
said was art house brand, and you say that. So I don't know if they affect. I'm just saying this is something they're gonna probably try to get an award for. That's what I was talking about, bro.
I don't think it's gonna get. I don't think this is gonna be. Besides effects, I don't think you're gonna get an effect, award thing for Nosferatu.
Well, I mean, look, it's coming out. It's not coming out in the time most horror films come out, which is in October or September. This is come out in December, so they're trying to definitely get themselves to that area just before the 31st, or I don't even know when it's coming out. It's coming out on the 25th, I think, just before I
On
guess
Christmas Day.
Christmas Day. So, are they trying to get into the Oscars? I don't know. Who knows?
I
So,
don't think they're trying to get in no Oscars
then
outside of
why put it the
effects.
25th for? Why wait? Why not wait until why not put it out regular time?
You saying they're
I'm
waiting?
looking right now. I'm looking at the wiki, and they already got accolades. So the Hollywood Music and Media Awards, they won already for the score. They have
I'm
the
not
African
saying there's
American.
awards that you can get, but a lot of films gets award for their sound and all that other stuff.
They got best performance, cinematography, makeup, and style. So, all right, I'm gonna stick to my art house. You can stick to whatever you want to stick to. Okay. Getting back to
Oh
the review of the trailer, it looks good. All right, it looks good. I got a surprise.
God.
We didn't see what
Right.
what our monster is going to look like, but it looks good. And if you saw the original one, the guy looks like a friggin' gremlin, not the type of vampires people are used to right now, right? But if you do I think the guy was
Their powers of persuasion doesn't
up there.
factor into how the Nosferatu looks. The only difference is that Nosferatu can walk around in the day. So,
Is he? I'm not sure. I can't recall the
so for
original.
in the original movie, out in the day.
Okay. And what he was the Count Orlok. And so here, look, I gotta say, it definitely looks as though they put some money into the production, even if it's an art house film. It looks as though
What about when you stop saying that?
we can agree to disagree, right?
Look at this.
So
They got the W. They got the hand over the thing. It's like the W in Wu Tang. Dun, 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 dun.
I
Remember
didn't see.
the W?
I don't. Okay.
You don't remember Wu Tang Forever? Oh, somebody's car's getting revoked.
You got frigging nerve, Shorty.
I didn't say which car.
So let me start with you, man.
What are you
Okay.
gonna start with me for?
What was the first album of Jay Z? Huh? Exactly. That's
I
what I
mean to
wanted to
say,
know.
why you trying to cut me off?
I don't think you answered that question, right? What was the first single he dropped? Huh? After Biggie's death. Okay.
After Biggie's death, why would I know what?
Because that was what blew him up afterwards when Biggie passed, and people were like,
No,
"Who's
that's
gonna get
not
the
the
torch?"
case. That's
Do what
not
you
the
want.
case.
Look, we digressing like there's no tomorrow.
What you
We want to
belong
show
to the
bona
city?
fides on
He,
hip
he
hop.
dropped he dropped You Belong to the City, and what he did was the second album. But with, like you're thinking of what's the name, Hard Knock Life, which was a while after Biggie passed, at
But
least
we
3 years.
digress, bro. We digress. You
Yes,
know.
you try to get you got play, you got caught out there trying to act like you know something.
Yeah. All right, yo. You want to put it down like that. We'll test our battles on hip hop history when we go for it. All right. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. All right.
Oh boy.
So all over, yo. Look, it depends on how closely it's tied to the 1922 movie. It looks as the director basically said this is supposed to be. Is it a remake? I think he said, but it's definitely based on the original.
Hmm.
So yeah, so a remake of the 20s. That's what he's saying right here. So the director's writing and directing.
They know the babes like their vampire films.
Well, I'm all interested. I mean, look, I prefer the more because the vampires are much more lordly looking. Who, they have the look like they can convince, they can take people over, they can be monsters within. But you know, that's the vampires I take. And also, we have a history of vampire films that come out like in January, right?
Yep.
Around that time,
So
and
you're saying that's the time they usually come out?
I'm saying we've seen some of them that's done very well. What's the name of that vampire movie? Is it Underground? Is it with
No, you're talking about Twilight. Oh, yeah, Twilight's the most successful one. Underground is the one, the vampires versus werewolves.
yeah, you know, um, and that was definitely January. I remember seeing those on several January. I really liked a lot of them. Blade come out in January?
I don't believe so, but you would tell me you know more than I would. You're looking it up, right?
Blade dropped on August. Actually.
Hmm.
It's interesting because I remember one of them dropped in. I thought one of them dropped in January. The second one dropped in March, and the third one, Trinity, dropped in 2004 December. Interesting. So they
Mm.
dropped it 3 different times. No rhyme or reason. I guess my thing about it being a Christmas movie makes no damn sense, right?
I mean, it's on set. I mean, it feels like, in my opinion, it's just when they had it done and what they think get their maximum amount of money, try to make it a blockbuster. But these days we don't know what's going to be a blockbuster.
No,
Moana's out there, Moana 2 is out there killing it.
it is.
Yeah,
It dropped already.
yeah, it's out.
I did not really realize that.
All right, so we're gonna wrap this one up.
Yeah, we'll wrap this one up. We're interested. We want to see more. Is it the question though? Really comes down. This is going to be like a monster vampire film, or will this be like someone who, has the power and presence to like just seduce women and take over people? At the very end, they need to eat you no matter what, right? So
So it's to try to get the woman clear of the vampire. They can cure her, but she has some, seems like a love interest that is not measuring up to Nosferatu, and we don't know if because vampires are also able to change shapes, and when they don't turn to one rat, they turn into a whole thing of rats when they transform. So I don't know if Nosferatu was out there right there in that scene, but you know, it looks like, yeah, they're gonna be playing up the same stuff that was in the Bram Stoker's Dracula, having a lot of the romance and the woman connected to it and that sort of thing. I don't. All I remember is some scenes from the original Nosferatu, and I know that person who was in there, William Dafoe, played an actor playing who thought he was in Nosferatu. So it's kind of I don't know. It's not really connected, but he got another role in the Nos, but as a regular guy in there. So anyway,
Well,
ready?
one thing I want to say about vampire films, they make so many vampire films. And I'm just taking a quick look here at in Wiki. I mean, they literally come out with a vampire film every single year. Um, and the
Well,
question
amazing.
always comes down is to what degree, and it's not only here in the states. You have it from all over too. Some of the big movies, some of the smaller ones, some of the ones that are going to be, I guess, B movie like. But the fact that you have this every single year, there's a vampire movie is
Well,
pretty amazing, and particularly for a genre that's been around for quite a long time. They did one fairly recently with Nicolas Cage. I saw. I can't remember the name of the
oh
movie.
yeah,
You know,
I can't
you
remember
have
it.
like an assistant, and the assistant, you know, what is it called? And then we had Morbius that just came out a couple of years ago, right, with Jared Leto,
Yeah,
which
yeah,
was Marvel's take on the vampire. Uh,
yeah.
so it's a definite
But have you? I think when I was dating and a girl came over the house, I asked her what. It was back when everyone had DVDs, and I had a few of them. Or they had the movies I liked, and I said, "Did you want to see anything?" And she said, "Vampire movies." And I was like, "What?" She was like, "Damn it, I ain't got no vampire movies in this house." But anyway,
We
um,
had like Vampire versus the Bronx that came out in 2020.
and that's a while ago for me. But yeah, I think what to say. What was it? Was there any? I can't even think of outside of. Well, it's hard to say Blade is a vampire because it got so much werewolf stuff in it, you know. But
Half vampire, I
huh?
mean, so he's half vampires.
But at the same time, he uses Blade silver to kill them, so it's kind of outside of the blood thing. You know, I guess definitely more so the first one, and I guess first and second one, even though the third one had actual Dracula in it. It was kind of like a pro wrestling Dracula movie. There's so many people in there in that movie. It was ridiculous. But anyway, I'm trying to think of if I can think of a vampire movie that I was. No, my favorite one is Life Force. I think I said that in the last one. With
Is what?
Life Force.
What's that about?
Oh, it starts out in space where there's this sort of thing that comes into the Earth's orbit, and these astronauts go in there, and there are three people there:
Mhm.
female that's gorgeous and nude, and two guys. And they bring them to Earth, and they wind up taking people's life force. And it hints that the vampires are actually, you know, aliens. That's kind of the story, but it's not as hokey as it sounds. Except for when they ran out of money at the end, which my father said he felt like they ran out of money and they just were doing like zombies running around Europe. But if you see the babe in there, it's like we were kids, it's like, and you see the babe in there, we're like, Father's actually gonna let us watch this movie. Let's not say nothing. You might turn it off, but yeah, that's and that's more of on the revisionist side of things. But anyway,
Oh, look, you said that was your favorite. I'll tell you, my entry really into vampires, and I think some people saw this film, and one of my favorite movies for a very long time was Lost Boys. Right?
oh, that's a lot of people. They definitely for the young
Lost Boys.
people, a lot of cool elements to it, that sort of thing. Yeah.
And then you had the like at the time also one of my favorite animes was Vampire Hunter D. You know,
Mhm.
so I definitely like that a lot in terms of vampires. And
Mhm.
I think some of them have held up. Some people knock Lost Boys, but I think it's kind of held up after a while. I think it's done uh, pretty good, uh, if you ask me. I also like some of the classic old school Dracula movies. I think it
Oh
was
yeah.
black and white, so it was like really, really old, and it held up well again. There's another one that came out pretty recently that I thought was pretty old. I think was it The Vampire's Kiss with Nicolas Cage? No, that's pretty old.
Oh yeah. Okay.
That was one that was pretty old one, but not that one. There was another
Well,
one. Twilight, you got to give credit to that they really blew it up. Of course, it's a love story, which at some point you're like, oh, who wants to hear this crap? But the whole organization structure, they did a decent job of that going forward. Um, and don't forget the Chronicles of a Vampire from Anne Rice.
you talking about the interview with a vampire?
Well, Chronicles, what you call both movies, right? Interview and the Queen of the Damned.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so that was pretty interesting in of itself. Vampire in Brooklyn gets a bad rap, but I thought it was funny.
Yeah, I don't.
Funny bad, not funny good.
Yeah, I don't know about that one. I think, you know what? The side note I had, I have my. It's not a vampire epic, but I always want to do a vampire, a show about a vampire in the present day, and like you basically have the guy who's the alpha in the town. He's the coolest guy in the thing. You have a regular story. You know, they can't wait to run into this guy. They run into him in the bar. They're hanging out with him, joking with him. They're getting drunk. There's plowing them back, and then there's a mirror. You know, how there's mirrors in the bar, and they turn and they go to the mirror, and they're like, "Yo, you're not in the mirror." And he's like, "What?" He said, "Yes, I am." And then he's back, and he's actually in the mirror, and they're like, "Yo!" And then they start piling down the drinks. But then afterwards, the other guys call each other. It's like, "Yo, you saw that he didn't have a reflection. He I don't know how he got the reflection back, but and then they kind of do like investigation, try to figure out if he's a vampire or not. And of course, I think the idea of the character would be that as he moved away from drinking blood, like some of his humanity kind of came back and lost some of the powers, but there's still elements like the reflection. But he uses his what's that thing? Since it hypnotized people, he hypnotized you to think that you can see the what's the name, so see his reflection. But since he was drinking, he kind of the power kind of waned, so he had to concentrate. So basically, he finds out that he's a they find out he's a vampire, but he's like, don't say like he's just a regular guy, but at the same time, he's alpha with these guys because he's what's the name. So that was going to be the first episode, and then I had a bunch of other dumb episodes after that. It's just
I
going to
like
be
that.
real
I
silly.
think we should do
It's going to
something.
be real silly. And
Well, yeah, should we
what?
be silly? I'm just saying it's good. I like it. The concept is good, and it's
But then
definitely
there also the big. I don't have. I know the only thing I can remember that I was thinking about was that he's going to take his friends back home to the family, and with home and family, they're going to be really upset because he's more human than inhuman, and he's got some regular yokels that obviously the family want. It's like running into like the Adams family with your regular friends, and he has to keep them from trying to eat his friends or suck their blood or anything like that. So. But yeah, that's I've thought about that just for that one scene. But anyway, let's close this out.
hey. So if you like vampire films, you think this is going to be something down your road, right, Petey?
Right.
Again, December 25th. Why are they doing it then? It's so doggone late. But if it's for awards,
Coincides with Christmas, Kris Kringle, and any celebrations of Jesus. So
or they're trying to get awards,
okay,
gotta say, they want to be part of the.
all right,
So hey, if you like what you hear, give us a thumbs up, comment, subscribe, spin a rack.
we're out.